everybody. This is Loan Officer Success Stories. I'm your host, Josh Blair, with the Mortgage Sense team. I appreciate you joining us today. Got a great guest for us to listen to. Nate Carver with Success Mortgage Partners. How you doing, Nate?
Hey, Josh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a Friday afternoon. We're going to go down to Florida, do some conventioning and learning a lot next week. So I'm excited but I'm also excited here to hear about your story and what you've done here in the mortgage business.
Well, thank you.
So how long have you been in the mortgage business?
Just over 5 years, about 5.5 years now.
Okay. Awesome. And what made you get into it?
Oh, necessity. So, the industry that I was in kind of dried up, and I just retired out of the military, came over to an industry that didn't pan out to what they said it would do, I guess, and took up Ubering as a side hustle to pay the bills. And one of my passengers owned a mortgage company, and we had about a 45-minute drive. And just we were talking, and ended up the guy was interviewing me. So I dropped him off at his very nice home. Lived right across the street from a famous football player, and he was pointing out all his different neighbors, and I was like, "What do you do?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm a mortgage broker." And I was like, "Oh," and I never thought about it prior to that. And I thought, that's interesting. And he goes, "You should give me your resume. Come work for me." And I was like, "All right." So I went and got my license and called him up about 45 days later, and I was like, "Hey, I was your Uber driver. You remember making this offer to me to come work with you?" He says, "Yeah, come in tomorrow." So I did, and the rest is history. I started being a lender and fell in love with it. Fell in just wonderful real estate agent partners that I work with. Our clients, first time home buyers, veterans, the whole gamut of people looking to own their own home. And getting to be a critical role in that process. I just absolutely love it.
I mean, the thing about our business is you have excellent opportunity. Excellent opportunity. But I have to ask, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Who was the football player that he lived across the street from?
Tony Romo.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
okay. I might have to find that address and just go.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. So you talk about you love the business. You fell in love. Was there a particular moment that you said, you know what, this is when you realized I'm in love with this business and this is what I want to do?
Yeah. It's, I've always liked real estate. I've flipped properties, bought investment properties and sold them. And that was very lucrative. But being on the lending side, it's like a Rubik's cube. Sometimes income can be very complicated. Sometimes the property can be complex, and where those two join, it's like solving a Rubik's cube. That part is, I find, very exciting. But I don't lose sight of the number one thing, and that's the individual, the family, the first time home buyer, single parent looking to put a roof over their kid's head, and then triggering generational wealth in owning your own property rather than paying off somebody else's mortgage as a renter.
Right.
Those, I don't lose sight of those things, and that's very, 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 very important to them and myself in being able to celebrate that win in their life. And that is number one. I can tell you, very first purchase I've ever did was with a single parent with kids, and that was important. It was so important to me to get them in that home, because they had been trying, and previous lenders I don't know the circumstances, whatever, markets change daily. So they weren't able to, or they get outbid. And so we finally, when she came to me, we got them done. We got them taken care of in less than 60 days. They were in a home. And there's stories, like multiple stories like that. On the personal side, it's fantastic. Financially,
Yeah.
it's as a lender, we can do quite well for ourselves,
Right.
or not.
But as soon as it becomes about the money, that's when it all goes away, right?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's important. I mean, you and we got to pay our bills too,
Sure,
and
absolutely.
have our goals in life. So to me, it has its place on the priority list, but it can't. I don't think it can be. I don't know. It can't always be the number one thing. It's got to be, your relationships with your real estate partners,
Right.
genuinely investing in them, personally and professionally, and then same with your homeowners, your home buyers is,
Right.
uh, the way I see it, it is a relationship, and I'm not looking. It's not that relationship doesn't end once you make the transaction and they get their home. It's so much longer than that, and
Right.
important keeping in touch with them and pursuing the
You almost
personal
have to have
development.
a passion for it. If you don't have a passion for what you're doing, this business will burn you out.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Because
yeah.
there's no off hours. There's no
Yeah.
off hours. So talk to me about your team. What support do you have around you?
So I'm on the front. I'm on the origination side of the loan, um, and I focus on realtors, that network, those relationships, and the buyers.
Okay.
My database, personal past contacts, past clients, those relationships, and then I have, from the moment we get a contract, I hand that off. I have a team that processes the loan all the way to closing.
Okay.
And there's various groups of people that gets handed off to all the way to closing. And I don't go back into the loan unless there is an income issue or an appraisal issue. Not the loan itself, the processing side of it. I don't go
Sure.
back into that. I always talk to the borrowers. I know what's going on because I meet with my team, and we have our 15-minute meetings on a loan or whatever, however long. It's a short meeting because we're focused, and
Right.
we talk through the loan. So I know what's in the loan, or what the deficiencies are or shortcomings, and then whenever I talk to the borrowers, um, those future homeowners, all the way through, I'm just not chasing documents.
Sure.
That's not a great use of my time. So
So what is the best use of your time?
best use of my time is on the phone with real estate agents, or out with the real estate agents that are my real estate partners. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm invested in their business, and my number one goal with my real estate agents is to help them make more money monthly. And so I have a process that I stick to daily, on how to do that for them. And then uh, next, the next group of people is my database, the people that I've done loans with in the past, or have, met along the way in life, and staying in front of those people. My goal is, like, I plant a seed. When you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance a home, can I count on you in the next year to let me know? That's the seed
Yeah.
that I plant. And then whenever I talk to my realtors, when I talk to past client database, these individuals, that's how I end that conversation. I water that seed and remind them that my goal is that, I mean, they're not, most likely not in that moment, going to have somebody, a
Right.
referral, a warm referral to me, but in the next 12 months, they probably will. and they likely will. And so I want to be that earwig when it comes to real estate that they think about. And so those are my 1 and 2. Those are the 2 best places for me to operate.
Awesome. Good advice. Good advice. So somebody's brand new to the business. And I don't know if you've experienced this, a newbie coming in brand new. What's the one thing that you say they need to do? What's the one thing they have to do
You've
to
got
be
to get on your
successful?
you got to get on your phone. Um,
Okay.
your phone will make you very wealthy. Um, so I do. The mortgage marketing animals teaches me this octopus marketing
Okay.
method, right? So there's tentacles, all the texting, phone calls, email, snail mail, uh, podcasting. There's all these different avenues, AI, all this
Hmm.
stuff, right? Um, and they all generate a percentage of my income. Um, of those, I can, without a doubt, because I track my numbers, I can tell you that picking up my phone call and calling my real estate agent partner, calling someone from my database is it's the low hanging fruit to an income. So if you're a brand new real estate agent, brand new loan officer, um, your database is your quickest route to your first paycheck and your second. Every paycheck really starts right there. And if you don't have, and I'm teaching myself this too daily, but if you don't have those 2 pieces locked down, like this is what I'm doing. I'm calling my real estate agent partners. I'm calling my past client database. Maybe you don't have any past clients. You're calling your database, people that know, like, and trust you. Um, that's the first 2 pieces. Everything else comes after that, or not at all. Maybe you don't ever do a podcast. Maybe you don't ever do snail mail.
Right.
Uh, but you're never. I would say if you're not doing those first 2, you're not going to get any. I would say you're not going to get any. I'll just say you won't get there as a loan
That's the
officer or
foundation you
real.
have to build on.
Yeah, I mean, people, real estate agents, people looking to buy a home, people that don't know that they can buy a home. You're not the number one person in their life. I'm
Right.
not. I'm not. I'm just not, and that's okay. They got their lives to live,
Hmm.
and their success or challenges in life. Um, and if you're not out reaching out, doing outreach to them, they're not going to know to call you or think to call you. They just don't. You're not the number one thing in their life. It could be their next phone bill, could be their number
Sure.
one problem. Who knows? I mean, they might have a date this coming week. It's the first date. You're definitely not the first thing on their mind. So, so you got to reach out to your real estate agent partners, your qualified real estate agents, in my case, and then your database.
Awesome.
And asking for business. I guess that's a number. You can't just reach out to them. I was going to
You
you,
can't just you just can't have, yeah, you
yeah,
got to ask for it.
you got to ask for it. And, definitely, talk and catch up on life and authentic conversations, authentic relationships. But if you don't ask for the business, most of my friends have no idea, had no idea what I did for a living a year ago. And until I started making these phone calls and
Really?
being deliberate in the phone call. And my personal friends, when I was really launching my own mortgage, I see it as my own business, um, reaching out to them and having that doing the ask of, hey, I'm growing my mortgage business. Can I count on you in the next 12 months to help me do that by referring me anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or refinance a home? And these are the people that know, like, and trust me, and they're going to say yes to that. And that's how I started building my business, was straight out of my database. And then I added to that finding real estate agents that actually have business to
Right.
refer. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are the two. I just keep going back to those two things. I chase other stuff. I love social media, podcasting, but I always keep coming back to the fundamental. Did I call my real estate agent partners? Did I call my database? And if I didn't do that, I can tell you what next month's going to look like.
Yeah, not as good as this month.
Not as good as it could be, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nate, I really appreciate your time. This has been some great advice. Thank you for joining me. And guys, if this is information, if this is helpful to you, give us a like, give us a share, ring that bell, subscribe. This is all about helping people in the loan business be better, especially us newbies. So, Nate, once again, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week.
All right, Josh, thank you.